box. This could be due to fear and anxiety. Feel Away is vet recommended and may help alleviate many stress-related cat behaviors. Find your solution at feelaway.com.
Okay, this next conversation is one for all you parents and maybe grandparents out there who have teenagers in your household to pay very close attention to, because you're having a chance to be invited to a virtual conversation with all those questions and conversations to have with your kids that are just not easy to do. Thankfully, Knox Farmer, who is with CADAS, and Rachel Endo, who is with A Step Ahead of Chattanooga, are experts at helping us through the conversation. So welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us.
I guess, Rachel, this all kind of came from your organization at A Step Ahead, because you realize, I'm sure, that this past year with COVID has been especially trying for the teenagers out there.
That's correct. We know that parents have had even more challenges with talking with their children and dealing with their children than they normally would. And, teenagers, like you mentioned, they've had challenges as well. And so we just really want parents to feel equipped to talk with their children about a lot of these tough talks, like drug and alcohol use, mental health, suicide prevention, and sex education.
I want to focus on the mental health for just a point, if I can, because I think a lot of younger people are actually pretty well versed in mental health issues, maybe more than their parents are, because it's a conversation they've been more comfortable to have growing up. Do you find that to be true?
I would say that the younger generation, it's almost more accepted in their generation to have mental health conversations. But at the same time, parents are an important part of that conversation. If a child realizes that they are having mental health issues, but they don't feel comfortable to mention it to their parent, they can't get the same quality of care.
Right.
So it is important for parents to, even if that's not a conversation they were already having, to see, yes, we need to be having mental health conversations. These are the warning signs of my children, and this is how I can get help for them if they are experiencing things.
And we do see that in co-occurring situations with adolescents that come into the Schultz Center. A lot of kids do have mental health issues and are either don't feel comfortable talking to their parents about that, or don't know how to approach their parents. And then by the same token, parents don't know how to approach their children. So there's this stalemate that goes on for a number of years, and nothing gets fixed or resolved.
I'm sure that the conversation we're having this morning is not a new one. We were all teenagers once, and these could have been applicable conversations to have about us, but you throw, I'm guessing, technology, social media, and now the isolation of virtual learning into the mix. It's a really bad situation for a lot of these kids.
It is. There's a lot of boredom, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of depression, and a lot of times kids feel that from their parents, from what their parents are going through with their own jobs and their own private lives. And so, a child needs to be able to express that fear and talk to their parents and say, are we going to be okay? Because like you saw, Julie, a lot of kids aren't able to look that far into the future and see that things will get better. So
every parent watching has had a time where your child's been the one left out of the friend group or struggling in a class. I don't care what the situation is, and you as an adult know it's going to be better next week, but the child can't see beyond that moment.
Exactly.
So with this event that you're having on April 29th, right, it's a time for anybody to go online and be a part of the conversation. How are you handling the questions being asked, Rachel?
So we are using the Zoom webinar platform, and in that platform, the only people who can verbally speak are the speakers and panelists. We will also have individuals who have lived experience with these topics speaking as well, just about how, drug and alcohol addiction, lack of sex education, and mental health has influenced their lives. So individuals with questions, they'll simply submit them into a chat box that's only seen by a moderator. And then so those questions will still grant a little bit of anonymity if somebody doesn't want to be shown as stating that question.
How important is it, and either one of you can jump in, to keep your mouth shut sometimes as a parent and just listen?
From a substance abuse world and having a teenage daughter myself, and being probably not so good of a teenager myself, it's huge for a parent to really count to 10, breathe a little bit, and really understand there's a reason why that child is hurting, and there's a reason why they found a substance abuse or something they're putting in their body to feel good about themselves. And so a parent really needs to kind of step back and find a way to connect with their child rather than just ridicule or threats or take things away. They really need to dig down.
And even for the parents watching who maybe don't have a child struggling like that, the whole goal is preventing it from getting to that point. So just being able to let your child talk, sometimes the stream of consciousness thoughts will come out better?
Right, I totally agree with what Knox said. And I feel like a lot of times as parents, I primarily deal with sex education. And I know as a parent, sometimes it can be kind of intimidating if your child, were to come to you and say, I want to have sex, what do I do? Or asking you any kind of questions about this, to just respond with your gut to be like, no, you don't need to do that.
Right.
No, I don't want you to do this, or this activity is gross. And it's really important for us as parents to take a step back and say, okay, they're coming to me for information, regardless of my opinions. I need to be willing to listen, to approach them with love, and to just give them factual information that will help them to make the best decisions for them.
I'm 51 years old, and it's still a hard conversation to have. So in terms of getting online on the 29th, are you wanting any, it's a free event, right?
It is a free event. Individuals can go on to either A Step Ahead Chattanooga, CADAS, or TSPN's Facebook pages and click on events, and there will be the event description there, and in that box you'll see an Eventbrite link. Click on that link and register at Eventbrite, and we'll email you the Zoom link for that day.
It is great talking to you
Thank you.
both. Good
Thank
luck, parents to parents. We'll all cross our fingers.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're back after this.
It's Friday with Ray and Jay. Heavy on the yay.
Look at the gloss in that sauce.
The kitchen's Jeff Morrow serving up simple tacos.